Gupta there. Now, it's been nearly half a century since the so-called Green Revolution in India introduced modern farming techniques which included the use of pesticides to make the country a self-sufficient food producer. But now there are attempts to move away from some of these methods. In 2016, Sikkim, a small state in India's northeast, was declared as the country's first fully organic state. Since then, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government has been trying to promote chemical-free farming in other parts of the country. Will Sikkim's organic revolution be able to reinvent agriculture in India? I visited the village of Rumtek near Sikkim's capital Gangtok to find out. For nearly a decade now, no chemicals have been used in these fields. The rice that will be harvested here will be organic, as will all the produce grown across the state of Sikkim. It wasn't easy convincing farmers to make the switch. Karma Bhutia grows pomegranates and guavas. He says that when the Sikkim government decided that all farming should go organic in 2003, he was among many who were opposed to the idea.
The
first 2-3 years after we stopped using chemical fertilizers, the harvest dropped. We were worried and even told the government that this wouldn't work. But after a few years, the yield increased and came back to what it used to be. Now we also get a higher price for our produce.
Karma says the government's offer to compensate them if the crop failed is what kept them going. But the state also threatened to penalize those who continued using pesticides. Sikkim's agriculture secretary tells me why the government was so keen to go chemical-free.
We wanted to fight climate change, cut down on carbon emissions and preserve our biodiversity and environment.
Sikkim is in India's northeast, an often overlooked part of the country. Until earlier, this small state was only really known for these beautiful Himalayan mountains. But now it's the organic fields that are attracting the attention. But can it go further from here to other parts of India? For a country that made itself a self-sufficient food producer decades ago by introducing and encouraging the use of chemical fertilizers, this way of farming is literally going back to the roots. Since it went chemical-free, the state has seen a 70% rise in the number of tourists visiting, all keen to get a taste of the organic produce. So far, Sikkim doesn't grow enough food to be sent elsewhere in the country, so it's only available in markets like this one in the state capital, Gangtok. But the demand for chemical-free food is growing across India. This is a market 2,500 kilometers southwest of Sikkim in the city of Pune. Since last year, organic farmers in the region have been selling their produce here.
Gradually with time, we are starting to see that there are people who are actually choosing to change their lifestyle and opt for more organic and sustainable goods. And so that's important. So I think we could easily go to saying that the growth has been at least about 100% from last year to this year.
Even though organic food often costs more than other produce, more people are choosing to buy it.
I want to spend more on organic food so that I save on my doctor's cost as well, and plus I support the farmer and their family and the environment at large.
It may be a slow change for an entire city or an entire community to adapt to this, but I think that the ones who have made this change will stay there.
It took more than 12 years for Sikkim to become fully chemical-free, and it's one of India's smallest and least populous states. For the organic revolution to spread more widely across the country, hundreds of millions of farmers will need to be convinced. And pesticide firms will not be happy. All eyes are on Sikkim to see if the state's organic mission can be a long-term success.